夜のワイに咲いて満ちて生きる様子が傷も嘘も痛みも歌になる夢を愛を書いて何を救えますか海はそれを覚める光になれ
All the members of the Nelly Island were very excited. There was to be a great banquet at the castle. Derrick loved going to the castle because on the way he drive past his favorite tree. The tall pine tree towered above the rest of the forest. Derrick was always stopped to look at it. Seeing the tall pine tree standing tall and proud made Derrick very happy. Derrick arrived at the castle, so Robert as a controller was waiting for him. The castle's flagpole is old and about to break. I need you to collect a new flagpole from the harbor in time for the banquet. Yes, sir. When Derrick arrived into the harbor, he couldn't see the tall flagpole anywhere. He looked around for the something tall. He looked above the freight trains, but there was nothing tall there. He looked at the normal ship. It had a tall mast. Then Derrick saw the Mr. Briggs's crane. It was very tall. But Derrick didn't see the flagpole. It was on the flatbed in front of his locomotive. It rolled onto the track. Sorry, Mike, I didn't see the flagpole down there. It's not tall when you lay it down. Derrick felt silly. Soon, Sir Robert as a controller arrived. This is a disaster. The castle will not look the same without the flagpole. Derrick was very sad. It was all his fault. Maybe seeing the tall pine tree will cheer me up, but nothing could make Derrick feel better. I wish I hadn't broken the flagpole. They could make a new flagpole out of that tall tree. Derrick looked up at the tall pine tree. He didn't want it to be made into a flagpole. So the next morning, Derrick had to take some of the workmen into the forest. But the workmen were carrying some saws and axes. Oh no! They must be going to cut down the tall pine tree. Derrick tried through to the countryside. Must save the tree, must save the tree. Then he had an idea. He didn't take the workmen to the forest. He went to look for a new flagpole. Derrick saw some people waving flags, but those flags were much too tiny to have the flagpoles. There was a flagpole holding up a windsock at the airfield, but the flagpole was too much short. Then there was a tall flagpole on the beach, but it wasn't tall enough. Bother! None of the flagpole is as tall as the pine trees. Now I'll never save it. That evening, Sir Robert as a controller came to see Derrick at the sheds. Derrick, those workmen had a very important job to do. You are causing a lot of trouble. Tomorrow you will collect coal and Ben Dennis take the workmen to the forest. So the next day, Derrick was collecting the coal freight trains when I arrived. I cannot find another flagpole. I've looked everywhere. Sometimes the thing you want is somewhere you wouldn't think to look. And I drive away. So Derrick set up to go where he wouldn't think to look, but he couldn't see a flagpole in the cow field. Then Derrick looked in the orchard and the farm, but the flagpole wasn't there. Derrick drove sadly into the harbor. The holiday makers were taking the pictures of the old ship. Derrick looked up at the tall mast. What about the ship's mast? It's to be chopped up and used for the firework. But it'll be the perfect for the castle's flagpole. Then you'd best to take it quickly. The crane soon lowered the mast onto the flatbed and Derrick raced off to the forest. He had to go to the tree before they cut it down. When Derrick arrived into the forest, the tall pine tree was still there and so was Sir Robert as a controller. Please don't cut it down, the tall pine tree, sir. I think the ship's mast will make a very good flagpole. I will never cut the tall pine tree down. The workmen are only here to collect some firewood. We'll always have a roaring fire at the castle banquet. Oh, thank goodness. That night, the flag was hoisted on the old ship's mast. It looked wonderful. Derrick thought it was the nicest thing he had ever seen, except for the tall pine tree.